Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my podcast, Up in the Clouds, here for another episode. So sorry that it's been 2 weeks since I've uploaded. Hope you guys have been doing good. I had a really busy few weeks. So honestly, as you guys know, I went to Lost Lands, which is a camping music festival, and I thought I was going to have time to record before I left, and I really didn't. Like, I was working crazy hours before I left, and then I literally just had to pack and run literally and leave. And then I lost my voice again, so I had to recover my voice from that. So it's still kind of not fully back yet. I definitely am still struggling with singing, so it's definitely fully not back, but it's definitely better and definitely has, more power behind it. So welcome back to my channel. So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys have been doing good. And yeah, really missed you guys. And I'm super excited for another episode this week. So other than that, I don't really have anything else. No really life updates. Just been really super busy with starting a new job, kind of trying to get comfortable in my new home, and yeah, just making sure I'm taking time for myself as well, along with everything else. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been busy, but so let's dive right into the episode. So today's episode, I wanted to kind of have the theme of releasing the ghosts of your past. So basically what that kind of means is making sure that while we're on this journey of healing ourselves, our traumas, is that not only are we healing those things, but we are releasing those as well. You can heal from something, but if you're still clinging onto it and holding on to it, you're holding on to a ghost that needs to be let go. So I feel like it kind of goes with the Spooktober vibes, because it's finally October, which is my favorite month of the whole year, because Halloween is my favorite holiday, and it has been since I was little. And now that I'm getting older and less afraid of things, I can actually enjoy Halloween and do the spooky stuff that I never got to enjoy when I was little because I was a fraidy cat. Still a fraidy cat, but not as bad. I've been watching, yesterday was the first day that I had in so long that I could just lay in bed and do nothing, and I literally binge watched all of American Horror Story that I've been missing. So yeah, that's what I did. And I even watched some of the American Horror Stories, which is good. So yeah, Spooktober, releasing the ghosts. So kind of let's get into that. So obviously we're on this healing journey together. You guys know my stuff. And a lot of you listen to this because you have been through similar situations or are in similar situations, or maybe you know somebody who's been in a similar situation. Regardless, we have something that we relate on, and we are here together. We're here to heal together. We are here to thrive together, and most importantly, we are here to release together. So you can heal and do all the shadow work that you want, but if you're not making sure that you're releasing those things from your past, you're going to hold on to those old stories, and then you're never going to actually step into that new version of yourself, because you're clinging on to an old story, you're clinging on to an old ghost, you're clinging on to an old version of you, which we want to make sure that we also release while we are doing our releasing in general. So when we are healing from stuff, we have to make sure we let go of that old story. So if you have been cheated on in the past, and then you always bring that up, when you start a new relationship, I've been cheated on, so I've been cheated on, so this is why I do this. I've been cheated on, so I'm afraid to commit. This, that, or the other thing. If you're still holding on to those things, you're not fully healed from it. So therefore, we need to take a step back and actually work on the healing part of it, because when you're holding on to those things, then you're still holding on to, it's just when you say you forgive somebody, but then you always bring up what they did, which means you really didn't forgive them, because you're still holding on to a grudge. Because if you actually did forgive them, you wouldn't have the grudge at all, if that makes more sense. So we can relate healing and releasing to forgiveness and grudges, because when you're constantly like bringing things up that somebody did, or like, you say you forgive somebody, but then you're always holding that against them, you really didn't fully forgive them. Therefore, you're still holding on to that anger. You're still holding on to those hurt, those feelings of hurt, holding on to that idea that that person is going to keep hurting you. Therefore, you're not fully releasing that they hurt you and that you're moving on from it. You're still holding on to that. You're still holding on to that story. So therefore, you are going to unconsciously manifest that they're going to continue to hurt you. Or you're going to keep attracting cheaters into your life because you've never fully healed from being cheated on. And so you're going to assume that everybody is going to cheat on you. So therefore, you're only going to attract that toxicity into your life. Now, that's not always true. Like, there's definitely situations where, there are good people, and sometimes, like, the universe sends those people to us, and they kind of help heal our traumas through their relationships with us. But for a majority of the time, when you're holding on to something that you really believe, that, like, you're creating this, like, we talk about how words and the things that we think and feel kind of create this environment around us. So when we're creating that environment that I always get cheated on, I always get fucked over, this, that, or the other thing, you are creating that world around you. Therefore, how are you going to get out of that world when that's all you believe is in your world? When you believe that those type of people are the only people in your world, that's what's going to keep staying in your world and keep coming to your world. So we got to make sure that we are pushing that out and like releasing that old story. That was a past us. That is not us anymore. New Courtney, new me, only attracts good, loving-hearted people into my life. I only attract men who are loyal. I only attract friends who are loyal. I only attract this, that. You want to focus on what you want. So that's why, like, when they say, like, when you're single and you really, really want a relationship so bad, where you're almost like pushing it away because you want it like too bad, you're almost like repelling it away from you because you're too focused on it. And then they always say, when you let go, that's when it comes. When you're not looking, that's when you find it. And that's literally so true. And that it's true when it comes to manifesting as well, because when we are focused on something, sometimes we repel it. And then, like, there's certain situations where you can focus on things, but when you're always thinking about, I have a lack of money, I have lack of this or that, you're going to keep attracting things that you're lacking. But when you think, I am abundant, I have all the money that I need, I always have money for my bills are always paid, I am never lacking in food, I never lack in love, this or that or the other thing, when you're thinking of how abundant you are and focusing on your abundance instead of the lack, you will have more things to be thankful for than like creating this environment of lack. And that can relate when it comes to relationships as well. When you're focused on this, that, or the other thing, you're going to repel those things. When you're too focused on one person, you can like scare people away. Like, I've definitely been in situations where guys like are too much, and then I'm like, whoa, like you get scared because it's like too intense and you don't know how to feel, because either you're not used to people like feeling that way about you, or it's just way too intense. So you got to make sure there's an even balance. You got to make sure you're like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And if it's not meant to be, it won't be. And that's what we have to embody. We have to embody that in every aspect of our life. And we have to make sure that, okay, this happened to me. I don't want this to be the rest of my life. I don't want to be the girl who is like labeled as that I was in an abusive relationship. So therefore, I keep attracting abusive men or stuff like that because I haven't healed from that. Like, I'm like, you want to get away from that. So why would you want to keep attracting it? So therefore we have to let go of that story. Okay, that happened, but that was past Courtney. Courtney now would never deal with that shit. Courtney now doesn't even attract that shit. You know, so we got to make a new persona almost for ourselves. Let go of those stories. Let go of those past hurt. Let go of those past traumas and embody a new version of ourselves where, yes, that is our story, but it is not our whole world. There's a difference when you have it as your story, when that is you have it as your whole life and you keep attracting it into your life. If you have a crazy abusive parent, you say that you usually attract, if you have, like, you don't want to keep attracting that. You want to let that story go. Like, you don't want that. You know what you don't want now. So why would you want to keep it coming in? So the focus that we have to have is the focus on this new self and what this new self does. This new self is confident. This new self is not worried about people cheating on us because we only attract loyal people. We only attract people that want real relationships. We don't attract people that aren't interested in being with us fully. We don't attract toxic people because we are no longer toxic by holding on to those toxic ghosts that have surrounded us for so long. We have to let that go. We have to let those stories go. They can be our story, but they can't be our main story. I kind of hope that makes sense. Where it's like, you don't want it to be the whole center of your existence. You don't want it to be creating this world for you that you are trying to get out of, but then you're not actually getting out of it because you're not fully releasing it. You're not fully healing from it. We have to heal from things to and truly heal and truly forgive. That is the key. When we forgive those people who have hurt us, we are no longer holding on to that. And I've talked about that before, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it's not only for you, but to remind myself as well. Forgiveness is a huge part of the healing process. To truly forgive. When you truly forgive people for what they've done to you, what they've hurt you, they no longer have that hold over you, and that situation no longer has control over you. So therefore, you won't be making decisions or won't be living your life and keep attracting those things that you are trying to get away from because you're letting go of that situation. Okay, I had a controlling, abusive relationship. Thank you for your lessons that you taught me. I forgive you for what you've done to me. Goodbye. And when you really goodbye that shit and really, really do it and say that the new you would never let that happen, that's when you're cutting those cords with that old story. You're cutting those cords with creating that environment around you, and you're creating that new environment of only loyal people, of only this, only that. That's what we have to do. That's the only way that we can have that new story, is truly letting go of that old story, releasing that old story, releasing that pain, releasing that hurt, and forgiving. And forgive yourself too. Because sometimes we hold grudges against ourselves and we don't even realize it. Like, I can't believe I let that happen. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I let this person walk all over me. It's just because I'm a piece of shit. It's just because I don't know any better, blah, blah, blah. And we have to not talk to ourselves that way, because then we're also creating that inner environment as well. When we are telling ourselves that we are the problem, that we did this, we did that as well. So making sure that we are talking to ourselves in a good way as well, and that we are feeling a good way about ourselves as well. Because how we feel is what we put out into the universe. We have to make sure we're up in a low, high, but there's definitely been times where I've been in a low vibrational state and I can still bring in positive, high vibrations to people regardless. But I'm just saying majority, you want to keep that high vibrational state. You want to find that higher self. You want to be that source of light in yourself first before you can try to put that out in the world. Because your happiness, how you feel about yourself, creates that world around you. when you like are insecure, and you're going to attract that. You're going to attract people that are going to take advantage of that. So you want to make sure that you're so rooted in yourself that you know what you want. You know what is good enough and what isn't. And those people aren't even going to bother you because you're going to be too high of a pedestal for them to even level up to you. And that's what's most important. That is where we want to be. We don't want to be down here with our lower self, stuck with the ghosts of our past, with the pain, the trauma, the hurt, the manifesting negative things. We want to be up here manifesting our dream lives. We want to be up here living the best life. We want to be up here surrounded with love and light and not darkness and shame and pain and regret and hatred. Because those feelings don't get us anywhere. And when you're holding a grudge against somebody, you're really not doing anything. It really doesn't affect them at all. You is yourself. So you're only creating a negative environment for your own self, realistically. And that's why would we want to do that? We want to make sure that we're releasing those things that we are putting out into the universe, that we don't want those situations anymore. We don't want this anymore. We don't want that anymore. We want this new, higher self. We want this new, higher version of us that doesn't get cheated on, that doesn't, get fucked over, that doesn't attract toxic men who will abuse us physically, mentally, emotionally, this or that, who don't remind us of our parents, who, anything negative that we've ever been through, we want to let go of that. We want to let go of that old story, rewrite your story. And the same thing can come when it comes around money too. Like, we grow up with a lot of beliefs about money that have been instilled with us generationally, and from how our parents handled money and what our parents taught us about money. I was taught that you have to work hard for your money, that you have to work multiple jobs to be able to support a life for yourself, this, that, or the other thing. And to be honest, that is just not true. I'm letting go of that limiting belief that I have to have no free time to be able to afford life. I'm not going to create that for myself. I'm not going to create that limit for myself. I don't want that to be what it is. I don't want to believe that you have to do, you have to be so stressed out and hate your life. It's not worth it to me. Focusing on my mental health and quitting a job that made me mentally fucking drained was probably one of the best things I ever did for myself. And I got plenty. You can't quit your job with no backup. You can't do this or that. Why? I'm taking a step for me. I'm taking a step for myself. I'm doing something for me. And I've been so much happier, so much mentally healthier, and physically healthier, and just overall feel so much better. And then you want to make me feel bad for that, even though I feel the best that I have felt in years, months, weeks, days, whatever you've been going through that has been job, that has created stress or something that's related to your job. And that's what it all comes down to, these beliefs that we can't, you have to have a full-time job to make, full-time money or this or that. There's just so many things out there now, that you can kind of work, creating your own business is a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort. But it's a lot easier with our age of digital and social media, and having an online business is a lot easier than it has ever been. And our parents don't see that. They don't realize that. They don't understand how easy it is to, do this or that and get noticed online, or, you like get these kids that just want to be YouTubers or TikTokers, and it's not that unrealistic. It's really not. And that's the thing, is they don't understand those things, so they create this limiting belief in you that you have to go to college to get a good paying job. You have to do this, you have to do that. And those are just limiting beliefs that they grew up with and therefore are instilling into us. And we have to make sure that we are breaking those limiting beliefs and creating our own beliefs for ourselves and creating our own lives for ourselves and making sure that the only person that matters at the end of the day who's happy is you. If you're living your life to please other people, you're never going to be happy. And if you're living your life to appease other people's limiting beliefs, you're just affirming those limiting beliefs are real. And we don't want to do that. We want to break those limiting beliefs. We want to break those barriers that have been set for us, that we aren't even true, that aren't even real, They're just barriers. They're just things that were created by our parents, by our grandparents, by our friends, the people we surround ourselves with, our teachers, whoever is most influential. Teachers are super influential in children's lives as they're growing up. So a lot of the times we can get limiting beliefs from just people that we're surrounding ourselves with, which include our teachers. So even as a teacher, we have to be conscious of the things that we're saying, because we don't want to create these beliefs in these children that they can't have lives that they want. They can't be who they want to be. When you're creating that belief that you have to be miserable to be successful, I had this job interview where you could tell that anybody in that company, all they cared about was money. And there's one thing to care about money because you want to be able to provide for yourself. But there's another thing when it comes to greed. And the vibe that I got was just greedy, was just money, hungry, in a bad way, in a negative way. And I really was turned off by that, where it's money is the only focus. Money is your whole life. Oh, are you really successful if you don't have money? Well, I guess in modern America, probably not. But, if you're happy with where you are in life and other people don't deem you successful based off of income, but you feel successful, you feel, comfortable, you feel like you have more than what you need, and maybe you're not the richest person in the world, but you feel you live your life well beyond your means, you can buy whatever you want, you can do this or that, I would consider that you're pretty successful. But to that type of person, to those types of people, to that type of company, the only thing that matters is numbers. Is that what the paper says? It's not how you feel. How you feel doesn't matter. But if I'm making money, fuck yeah, I don't care if I'm miserable. Life's too short for that. Would you rather want to make money, being happy, or I don't know, I don't need to be the richest person in the world, but if I'm happy where I'm at in life, I feel like that is the most powerful richness in the world. It's being happy. I grew up with parents who were miserable, but they had money beyond their means. They were good. We weren't ever struggling. And they weren't happy though. They weren't happy at their jobs. They weren't happy at home, hence why they got a divorce. And I decided that at a very young age that was not what I wanted for myself. I wanted a job that made me happy. I wanted to go to work every day, not dreading it. I want to enjoy what I do. And to some people that just seems so crazy, but it's not. There are so many people who enjoy what they do, who are happy with what they do, and they live well beyond their means. They're not struggling. They're good. It's possible to be happy with your career, with your job, with your life, and be provided for as well. This idea that we have to be miserable to make a lot of money or overwork ourselves to the point where mentally we are fricked up and we have no free time, we have no time to spend with our loved ones, we have everything revolves around work and, you know, our companies and these companies that find us replaceable, these companies that don't even give a shit about us at the end of the day. It just is really like, the American dream ain't so American dream anymore. Working for the man isn't the dream. I feel like working for yourself, creating your own business, creating your own environment and being the boss of your own self, I feel like is the new American dream that we should all be striving for. We don't all have the same interests. We don't all have the same niche. You know, we all have different qualities, different things that interest us, different things that we can use, different abilities that we can create into our own thing. You know, these big corporations, these big companies that they don't care about their employees at the end of the day, who overwork them and then, you know, don't let them have freedom for their lives. They are the ones that are running the show, and we should be running the show. This is our life. These are our world. You know, focusing on our happiness is the true goal in life. If you're not happy, how can you consider yourself successful? I feel like happiness and successfulness also go hand in hand. You can manifest being the richest person in the world, but if you're not happy, what do you really have to show? Oh, your cars? Or your, you know, your huge house? But yet you feel empty inside. I'd rather be filled with life and live averagely, filled with happiness and love and live averagely than live beyond my means and be miserable. And that's just a personal thing. But I would never limit myself, because at heart I'm a millionaire. And that's what you got to embody. You got to embody that. You got to let go of whatever you learned. You got to let go of these past. So let's back to the main point. Letting go of those past things. Letting go of this idea that we are grown up with. These things that have been instilled upon us. All of that. Letting go of that whole thing. All that. And creating this new story. This new environment. This new world. Releasing the ghosts of our past. The ghosts of limiting beliefs, the ghosts of exes, the ghosts of abuse, the ghosts of trauma from our parents, the ghosts of any kind of trauma from friends, the ghosts of, our beliefs that we've set, these things that we've set, these barriers that we set for ourselves, releasing those ghosts, releasing everything that is not going to get us to our goal. Whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, you can do whatever you want and you can do anything in this life, but you just gotta believe in yourself. And you just gotta believe that it's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, then it isn't gonna happen. You gotta make it happen. You gotta believe in yourself enough to make it happen. You gotta believe in yourself enough that you are worthy of that. Making sure that we're not, we're really forgiving people that have hurt us. We're forgetting ourselves for letting people hurt us, and releasing. There's one thing to try to heal from shit, but you gotta make sure you're releasing that shit. Otherwise, it's just gonna cling in the back of our story, in the back of our world, keep creeping up on us, and we're going to keep attracting those things that we don't want because we're not fully healed from it. So you got to make sure that you're really taking the time to heal from each thing one by one. If you have to focus on one thing at a time and really focus on forgiving one person at a time, then that's what you got to do. And that's okay. You don't have to try to heal from everything at once, because trust me, I tried doing that and I would not recommend that, because you bring up a lot of shit in a small amount of time, and then you're dealing with all these demons that you've pushed away for so long, and then they kind of like take control again because you get so like overwhelmed, and then you just kind of fall back into that hole that you were trying to get yourself out of in the first place. So definitely take your time. This healing journey is not an easy journey, and the releasing journey is not either. When you heal and you're ready to forgive, and then you truly forgive and truly release, and if you're having struggles with your relationship and forgiveness, and maybe you guys have hurt each other in the past. I was in a situation in a long relationship with another person where there was a lot of trauma, and there were a lot of pain, and there's a lot of hurt. And it got to a point where I knew that I was never going to be able to fully forgive him for the things that he had done. And I had to make that choice, that hard, painful choice, even though I loved him and I thought I was going to marry him at the time. And now I just like am a completely different person, and we would have never, I don't think, worked right now in where I am in life. But at the time I thought he was my person. He was the person I was going to marry. And then I, made that choice where, okay, if it's meant to be, we will be again. Right now I can't forgive him for the things, so I'm just holding these things against him, and we're never going to move forward as a couple. I'm just creating this toxic environment for our relationship, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I made that choice to kind of just walk away from it and just say, like, if it's meant to be, it'll be, and we'll come back to each other. And now I'm a completely different person. And like I said just a few minutes ago, I don't even think we would work anymore right now. I'm so different. I'm just not even that same person. I've completely changed as a person in general, and have completely different interests, and just really don't think we would vibe anymore. And that's okay. People change, people grow. Real true love relationships, people will grow with you, and we just weren't meant to be. Maybe we were meant to be at that time, at that place in my life, but now we aren't. And that's okay too, because we can have like people that we're meant to be with at a certain time in our life, but then they're not meant to be with us forever. And that's, have to make sure that we're not confusing that as well. If someone's holding you back from this life, if someone's keeping you in that past self, if someone's keeping you in that ghost version of yourself that you're trying to get away from, maybe take some time away from that person. Friends, family, a significant other, whoever it may be. Those people are keeping you trapped in that ghost self that you're trying to let go of. You're never going to keep moving forward. You're never going to actually let go of that. And we have to make sure that the people that we're surrounding ourselves with as well are also moving forward with us as we move forward, and as we change, and as we grow, and as we heal. They are coming with us and not holding us back, or keeping us in that place that we don't want to be in anymore. Because and if people leave your life because you are not the same person or whatever, I don't want to say like that's the goal, but we want to push away those people that aren't going to grow with us. You can definitely grow and still be friends with people, and watch people thrive, and be happy for people, and not hold them back from their dreams, or tell them that they aren't good enough. We want to make sure that we have people that are believing in us, and people that aren't talking doubt into our minds, that aren't creating beliefs or limiting our own selves. Making sure that the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, the people that we're opening up to, they're also here for good reasons and for purpose, and not using us for things, or taking advantage of us, or wanting to see us fail. It's crazy. There are people out there that aren't good people, and they aren't really your friends, and they don't want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you doing good. They don't want to see you doing better than them. And those are the kind of people you really got to watch out for, because those are the people that you will think are your best friends, and the minute that you are doing better than them, or in a better situation than them, or whatever it is, they're the ones that are gonna like turn your back on you. And that's fucking scary. It's really scary that there are people that you could be friends with for so long who are like that and don't want to see you do well. They don't want to see good things happen to you. They don't want to see your dreams come true. It's just really sad that people are like that, to be honest. Because why would you not want the best life for the people that are in your life? Why would you not want them to be happy? Why would you not want the best things for them, you know? So making sure that we're not allowing people in our space, in our lives, that are keeping us in that past self that we are trying to release and let go of too. So making sure, surrounding ourselves with good people, making sure that we are taking the time to really heal things from things, whether that be one thing at a time, just really fully learning forgiveness for whatever has happened in the past and forgiving ourselves and speaking positively to ourselves and the people around us and trying to create a positive environment and a positive life. If there's something in your life that's making you miserable, job, relationship, friendship, family member, take time away from that. You know, go do something else for a while. Whether you just gotta go be a server or be a bartender or DoorDash or whatever you need to do. If your job is creating an environment for you that's making you unhappy, fuck it. Life's too fucking short. Honestly, it is. It's way too short to be miserable. So cut out those things that are making you miserable and keeping you in that old self that you don't want to be anymore. Release the ghosts of your past. Heal, release, and thrive. Because we're up here. We are up here trying to live the best life, trying to be happy, have all of our dreams come true, be able to manifest whatever the frick we want. And then things just come so much easier when we're high vibe and high vibrating. And sometimes you're going to vibrate so high that all these people who are low vibrational, they're not even going to be able to handle it. And they're just going to flow out of your life, which is fine. Because you don't want low vibrational people holding you back. You don't want low vibrational people, you know, causing stress or causing you to stay in that lower self or causing you to stay in that ghost self that you want to let go of, you know. So find that peace, find that healing, find whatever you need to really truly let go of your past. Not only heal from it, not only say you forgive those people, but also making sure that you are fully healing and releasing. And I'm going to end there. I'm going to end on that note. But yeah, and if you have any, if you're struggling with something or struggling with healing or releasing or forgiving or whatever, let me help you. Let me be here for you. You know, you can always reach out to me. My email is always linked in the description. So is my social medias. If you'd rather DM me on there, please do. I would love to help you as I help myself. We're all in this together. This is a journey that we are in together, and let's help each other, you know. Let's be there for each other and do what we can to help each other be the best versions of ourselves. And we can do that by letting go of these past selves that are keeping us in a low vibrational state. But yeah, so if you need someone to talk to, I am here for you. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and tap the little notification bell so you get a notification whenever I post a video, because I do like to do fun little videos besides these episode videos. And yeah. Got a busy few weeks. October is going to fly by, and it's going to make me really sad because I love October. But I just have so much going on these next few weekends. I feel like I have something planned pretty much every freaking weekend, which is fun, but also makes it go by too fast. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your week. I'm sending you all love and light as we work on healing and we work on releasing. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week.